We are almost ready to begin. I almost have everything set up. Wanted to show you. Zoom out for now to show you what's going on. We'll zoom in a moment. So we have the event deck. We're going to play with the event scenario. And here's the location deck. And these are some achievements you can earn. We have our money credits. I'm going to open it up upside down. Make it a little quicker and easier to get to. Our fuel. Then we have the actual game deck. This is right here, if you can see in the corner, is a 1. If it'll zoom in. Let me see if I can get that to focus for you. No. So if you notice, this is a 1 for generation 1. And that deck is a good third of the rest of the deck. Here would be generation 2 and so on. So those are in separate piles and we will play them in order by the generation. So to finish set up, I'm just going to use the rule of 5, reading through the instructions. We have our ships that are construction crews and such, exploring crews. They are all starting on Earth. I'm going to play as the red player. We've got red, purple, yellow. Then the rule of 5, everyone will get 5 fuel and 3, 4, 5 money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5. And then 5 cards from the Generation 1 deck. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm going to put this here. And now this deck is roughly the same size as like the Generation 4 and 3 deck. So now that we have our fame tokens here and our victory points here, I've got everything set up. The market will be able to be placed over here. I'm just going to leave these right here in the middle of the table. I'm going to get the camera down close so we can see what's going on. And I'll show you these pretty cool little player aids. It has almost everything on there that you'll need to know for the game. And let's get started. I think we're ready. I hope it's not too bad of a glare. I will zoom in when we do other stuff. We just need to now determine the first player. So I'm going to try to drop only one of these out of my hand. Okay, so we will be last, which is a little unfortunate, and I've already taken a glance at the hands just to get an idea of what we're going to do. I don't have a great starting hand, but let's start with the purple player. On your turn, you will have the same steps every time that you will do in order. Now, you may sell one of your cards, just one card. So if you have something that you don't need or don't think you're going to use this anytime soon, you can sell it over here. It'll slide down, and you will get a credit for it. Then anyone else can buy it for a credit and play it. Now, in a 2-player game, that would be different, slightly different. But then you must play a card and then draw back up to 5. They are just going to play this. Attract investors. There's lots of these in the first generation, and you'll see why. But the active player receives 5 credits. All other players receive 2 credits. So let's do that. 3, 4, 5. And then 2 and 2. Now let's look at the rest of the card. In descending order of fame, clockwise if it's tied, each player may collect 1 credit for each 2 fame they are deducted. Well, right now no one has any fame, but for playing this card, simply playing it, the purple player will receive 3 fame. He's getting a little bit of notoriety, trying to get things started in his company. Now, if he wanted, he could reduce this down to 1 to get another coin, but the start of the game, got a lot of money going. Let's just not worry about that. He's not going to worry about that. We're going to discard this, so I'm just going to put that over here off the table, out of the way. It's not in the market, it's discarded. Everyone else would have the option, but they're not going to. And now he will draw another card. So it's over to the yellow player, and technology. The active player may take control of an available technology or gain access to an already controlled technology without paying the controlling player. So simultaneously, players receive 1 fame point for each technology they control. Now, he will get 4 fame and gain access to a technology. You just simply say they have improved gravity slingshots and now have speed +3, which reduces the fuel cost to go anywhere. And it says player, you may pay. If someone else wants to jump in on that, they can now. With this card, you can gain access to it without having to pay the controlling player. But let's see. It says at any time. I don't know if that means during a player's turn, but I'm going to assume that they can do this now. We'll go clockwise. I will pay 1 credit to the yellow player so that I can piggyback off of their research and learn that as well. But I'm keeping the yellow token on top. Purple will do the same thing. They'll pay 1 to yellow. Now, everyone has that speed, but yellow is in control of it. They have the patent on that technology. They are the ones that researched it and discovered it. So they receive 1 fame point for the technology that they control. Okay, so that goes to the discard. They will draw up to 5, and now it is finally our turn. So let's see what we're going to do. This is giving a little bit of a glare. Let's move that. Now, the biggest difference in a 1-player and a 2-player game, the market size is dependent upon the number of players, but you pay 1 token to piggyback on to anyone. Where in a 2-player game, you would pay the other player 2 tokens. So let's take a look at our hand, and you see we have 3 attract investors and 2 technologies. We do not have a great starting hand for good variety, but right now I'm not hurting on money, and everybody has money. I think they'll want to piggyback, so I'm going to go ahead and play technology, because when people start spreading out and building, I don't want to be restricted and not have the technology I need. So I'll take high efficiency insulation. And as expected, each of the other players are going to pay 1 to get in on that high efficiency insulation. Now I will gain, since I played this from my hand, I didn't play it from the market. If someone discards a card to the market to get a coin, they don't get this reward. But if you play it from your hand to the board, you do. So I'm going to get 4 for playing the card. And then it says each player, simultaneously, all players receive 1 fame for each technology they control. Well, yellow and I both control 1, so move us both up 1. Let me slide the camera over and show you. There. Now we will draw a card to bring our hand to 5. Now we have research missions. So that's good. We have a little bit of something different, diverse. So purple. What is purple going to do? Let's find out. So this symbol here with the 2 means that the fuel cost from Earth to Mars would be 2. So from Mars to this asteroid belt would be 2. From there to Jupiter would be 3. And always from Earth to Earth's orbit or the moon is always 1. You always pay a minimum of 1. So the purple guy wants to play research mission. Well, let's go ahead and give him his 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3. That brings him up to 6. And now the active player may establish research missions for 1 credit each, plus the fuel cost from Earth. Well, as I said, everything is at least 1 fuel. So he's going to do a research mission here in Earth's orbit. He will pay, purple will pay for the technology and satellites and the fuel, and that goes to the bank. Then 2, but they have the speed technology right over here, plus 3. So we can actually reduce this by 3, but you always must pay at least 1. So they will pay 1 fuel and 1. They want to go to the polar regions here in Mars. And since they have the insulated, high efficiency insulation, they're ready to build a base there later perhaps. Now they're going to continue on. We have 2, 4, minus the 3 speed technology. So again, they only have to pay 1 to establish here on this dwarf planet in the asteroid belt a research mission. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus the 3 would be 4, and they only have 2 fuel left. So they're not going to do that. They're actually going to head the opposite direction toward Venus. They will spend 1 of each to establish a research mission here in the atmosphere of Venus. Now, starting with the yellow player, they like some of these options. So they are paying, they don't have to pay fuel, they're paying the purple player for the rights to the data that they are collecting. They want to see the raw data, access to the files and computers, so they don't actually have to pay for any fuel. They will simply pay to have access to the research that they are developing. There we go. But they're not interested in going toward Venus. So they're not going to pay to join that. Now it's our turn. And I figure, why not jump in on, you know what? I think I'm going to do just like the yellow player and only go on the 3. Because the name of the game is Destination Neptune. And they're going backwards. So we will do this. Now we have access to all their mission data. And we paid them the money. So purple made some money. They're out of fuel, but they made some good money this turn. Now let's see what else. In clockwise order, starting with the player at the player of this card, each player may pay
the controlling player 1 credit, 2 and a two-player person, to gain access to any existing research. So later on, if I decide I want to go here, I can still do that. I can still access that later. I don't have to do it this turn, but we'll see. Then collect 1 fame for each research mission controlled. 1, 2, 3, 4. They control 4. They will get from 6 to 10. Now that is another reason they went ahead and did that. They had the fuel, they could do that. They technically could have gone there as well. They might in a future turn, but there we go. And they draw another card. So now it is time for Yellow's turn. For Yellow's turn, it's going to be a little bit tricky. They want to play a build. So let's go ahead and move their fame up 3 to 9. But this works a little different. In 3 rounds, with the active player clockwise, counterclockwise, and then clockwise. Each player may build once per turn. If I can get that to focus. Now, with a build card action, everyone gets to build. You do not pay like you do with the technology or the research missions to piggyback on someone. You must do that yourself because it is you must physically be at that location. So you'll see what I mean. Let's get this out of the way. So first, yellow will take one of their crews. 2, 4, they have the advanced movement technology, so it's only going to cost them 1 fuel. It would be reduced by a further 1 since they have a base there, but it's always at least. So they will pay 1 asteroid belt. And then here is a base. They're going to establish a base, and it always costs 1 to do a base and then 2 for factories. This would be a factory. And then the colony costs this much money because you are basically sending humans and supplies from Earth to set up a colony. But this will only cost 1, and they are now in control of this base since they have the technology for the insulation right there. So they are in control of this base. That is the first player to have a base, so they will pick up this. And at the end of the game, this will be worth 3 victory points to the player with bases on the most planets. Now, if someone were to tie them, yellow still retains this. Someone can only take it if they beat them. So for now, they have 3 victory points in game. So we will put this over here next to them. So clockwise, it will go to us. So let's see what we're going to do. We have some fuel. We want to jump out ahead of the purple player here. So it'll cost us 1 fuel and 1 coin. And we will set up a base here on the polar regions. Now to the purple player. They only have 1 fuel. So they used a lot of fuel doing that research. They are not going to be able to piggyback or jump in on this action very much. So if they want, oops, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to move my ship here. Now let's lay the ship down to show that they landed there and built. Does he want to go out here and try to beat the yellow player here or not worry about it? Because he is in control. And if he can do that, he would get the Intrepid Spacefarer. There's 2 here. So why not? Let's see. For now, he would be in control. He's going to do that. He will just tag along here, pay the 1 fuel and the 1 money. so that he can also have a base established in the polar regions of Mars. But we were there first. We were in control. And I'm sorry, also, you get one point for being the first to establish a base at any location. Since yellow established a base first here on the asteroid belt, they will, see if I can get that on camera, they now have one victory point. And since we were first here, you can tell we're in control. We will get a victory point. Slightly in the lead now. Now we are starting to cook with gas, right? So now we go back to the yellow player, and they can choose to build somewhere else if they like. And they are going to go ahead and spend the one fuel and the one coin, and they now have a base here in Earth's orbit. And since they have a base here in Earth's orbit, these ships can fly further now at a reduce of 1. Every base on your journey will reduce the gas price by 1. And they are now in control of that, so they will go up 1 victory point again. So they're at 2. But they need to send an actual construction crew there to show that. Now we would go in reverse order, so it'd be the purple player, but they are out of fuel. They are completely out of fuel. And even going here in Earth, it always costs a minimum of 1 fuel. So they must pass. We're going to lay their ships down to show that they can't do anything else. So it's back to us. Let's see, what are we going to do? Well, we can't really get control anywhere, but we can do the same here. We will not get the victory point. We will pay the 1 fuel and the 1 coin, but now we have a base here, and that will help us in these farther journeys reduce our gas cost a little bit. And let's go ahead and go into Earth's orbit and do the same thing. There we go. I tell you what, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because this is the last. So I think what yellow is going to do now is they are going to spend 1 fuel to move from Earth to here, but not build. And since they are landing here where they have a base, they could reduce it again by 1, but it's always a minimum of 1 fuel, so it won't matter. But they do not count this base taken off because they were not in orbit like this one, they were on Earth. But this one will get a reduced next time it moves. But they're not going to build, they're just going to do that. So that will come back to us, and we are going to, let's see, why not go ahead, we've got the money, we've got the fuel, let's go ahead, build a base here in Earth's orbit. They will get, they will retain control of that, but there we go. So that is the build base. Now, Purple could have spent 3 money. They've got plenty of money to buy fuel, but they didn't see anything that anyone could beat them to. No one's going here but them. This was already taken. This was already taken. But since they were the last player, they didn't even get control of this. But they are built here so that they're guaranteed to get one of these in a future turn. So they didn't want to spend the 3 money because you're going to see what they're going to do on their next turn. But anyway, that is the build phase. The points were collected. Yellow draws a card, and now it is back to us. Let's see what we're going to do. And sorry, it's raining pretty hard outside. It's getting dark, and so I had the lights on there. It's really glaring, so I'm trying to stop that. But we don't really have a lot of fuel or money to do a research mission, and we would like to do another technology, but I'm figuring that some of these other players are going to want to start branching out soon. I need to go ahead and get some money so that I'm ready to piggyback if someone else does anything. I hate to postpone it, but if they research, I could always do it later. So yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should go ahead and do this. Because we know over here we'll need uh, enhanced fission power. Everyone's going to want to jump on that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the technology for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to research the enhanced fission power. These technologies need this insulation as a prerequisite. This one does not, but all of these do need to come off of it. So, there. Now, let's see if anyone wants to, don't have that on camera well, so let's see if anyone wants to join in on that while I fix the camera. Been messing with the camera, and I just cannot today get the focus and the glare well, but anyway, enhanced fission power, speed bonus of +1. That is a bonus. So this is +3, 4. So I will be able to reduce future fuel costs by 4. So that you can see this is ridiculous, especially if you get the fusion power, which will give you a speed bonus of 4. These are cumulative. So that is amazing. But these are used for almost nothing but traveling out far distances. There are a few colonies and such out here that need that technology, but nothing else, where these are used much more often, so they give you less speed bonus. But anyway, yellow and purple both are going to go ahead and pay. It says you can do it at any time, so why not just do it now? Oops, I should do that in player order. So why not just do that now? That comes to me. Remember, in a 2-player game, it would cost you 2 coins to piggyback. And now, each player receives 1 fame for each technology they control. I control 2, so that'll take me from 9 to 11, and yellow controls 1 from 9 to 10. So that is our turn. We'll draw a card. Let's see what we got. Ah, fuel broker. So we already know what the purple's going to want to do. They did not buy fuel last time because they have a fuel broker themselves. They will get 1 fame. And let's see what the card says. There we go. The active player receives 1 victory point. Oh, okay. Awesome. Clockwise, starting to the left of the active player, each player may buy 2 money and 2 fuel. They're actually going to pass on that. And I just got a fuel broker card. 2 money. Do I want to do 2 money? Tell you what, I have a bunch of broker cards. So let's show you how this works. I'll do 1. So I pay 1 to him, 1 to the bank, and I get a fuel, bringing me up to 3. Now, the only reason I did that is because I plan on getting money my next turn. I don't want to play this. I'm going to get money so I can piggyback on stuff. Now I've got a little extra gas. So why not? Let's go ahead. I've got my last 2 money. 1 to him, 1 to the bank. Boom. 4 fuel. Nope. Take that back. Sorry. Because I want to play this and get some money. Now I've already got a little extra fuel, but now I have money and fuel to piggyback if the yellow decides to do anything. Because we don't know exactly what they're going to do. But now is hurting a little bit. They are down to 2 money and 2 fuel. They don't have a fuel card. They don't have a backer card. So what they're going to do is they're going to sell this card. Now, in a 2-player game, you only get 1 coin for selling the card, but in a 3 or 4-player game, you get 2. So they're going to get a little bit of money for that. And then they're going to play this. Now, when you play a card from your hand, they will get the 3 fame for doing that. But if any player on their turn can play this card, but they don't get the fame for it, they just simply get to do the action. So now the active player may establish research missions for 1 credit each plus the fuel cost from Earth. All research missions originate from Earth because you're launching a satellite. So right there, from Earth. Okay. So if we look from Earth, that's going to be 2, 4, 7 to get to Jupiter. Now they can, since this is Earth's orbit and they have a base there, way over here in the corner, they have established a base. That can reduce the fuel by 1. Plus they have improved gravity slingshots for 3 and enhanced fission power for another one. So that's 4. So basically it would cost them 2, 4, 7 minus 4 minus 5. It would cost them 2 fuel, which is what they have. And I hope I'm doing that right. Someone can let me know. It may only be for the cruise, but I think it's for the research missions as well. And then they will establish right here on Europa. They're going to establish that. So they are out of fuel. And of course, I'm low on money. Learn about Europa, and the purple player will also. Now, since they now control this research mission, now this is a little different. I even looked on Board Game Geek, could not find anything definitive. But when you play a technology card, it says simultaneously players, all players receive 1 credit. So you get a lot of fame every time someone uses your technology or researches technology. But here it says research, then collect 1 fame for each research mission controlled. I'm going to play this that it is only for the active player that played the card, not everyone as with the technology. And right here, yellow only controls 1 mission, so they will go up to 14 fame. But since they sold a card and played a card, they get to draw 2 cards for their hand. And now it's back to us. But on to our turn. We do have 3 fuel now, but we're down to 1 coin. And we have a lot of these investor cards. So I think we're going to do something similar, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to try something. We're going to go ahead and sell this investor card. Now let me show you how this works. If I can slide the camera, what you do, based on the number of players, you can have that many cards in the market. So we can have a 3 max, and it always slides oldest one, well, the oldest one, first in, first out, basically. So we're going to get 2 coins for selling that card. So let's slide back over here, and we are going to get 2 coins for selling that card, and then we're going to turn right around and play another investor card. But you notice it has the event symbol. So we're going to do an event. And when you play a card with an event, if you're playing with these optional rules, this is immediate. So before I do any of this, before I receive fame, I'm just going to set that in front of me near the board. I draw the top event card. And let's see what it says. Got to try to get that in focus without glare for you. Pick a location, card. A colony at that location is removed unless the owner pays 3 credits. If so, that player earns 3 fame. Whoa. So we draw the location, and it's on Titan. Okay. Containing a rich atmosphere and abundant water, Titan is one of the more promising colonization sites in the outer solar system. Sorry about the glare. There's a picture of Titan. So we will see if there is a colony on Titan. Now, this just goes to a discard pile. It's not reused unless this is exhausted, but this will immediately go back into the location deck and get shuffled. So there just could be a lot of activity going on at Titan and nowhere else. But there we go. So let's take a look at the board. It's Titan. Okay, out here, moon of Saturn. There is no colony out here. There's no base. There's not even research yet. So nothing's going to happen. Thematically, you could think of it as maybe it was pelted with asteroids, or if there was a colony there, maybe they were mining and caused like a collapse of the ground. Who knows? Something would have happened. Colony would have been destroyed, but there's nothing there. We don't have to worry about that event. So now we get to go to our card. We will receive 3 fame. 1, 2, 3. And then we receive 5 credits. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will bring us up to 8 money. Then all other players receive 2. 1, 2 for purple and 2 for yellow. And yellow is probably happy about that, but now they need fuel. Now, in descending order of fame points, clockwise if tied, if I can get it to focus, players for each 2 fame they pay, they can collect a credit. Well, I don't know if anyone's going to want to do that, but let's think about that. We are doing okay on money. We just got a lot of money. Purple seems okay, and yellow actually seems okay. And I don't think they want to... They've jumped out ahead of purple for a moment on the fame track, so no one's going to do that. So we sold a card to the market, and we played a card. So see, now we have research and fuel. So now we'll be able to get fuel. Oh yeah, we got lots of fuel opportunities. Okay, so that is our turn. Let's look at what purple is going to do. Purple's a little sad they weren't able to get out here and get a base because they realized somebody's probably going to snake this from them, and yes, we are. But they're looking at yellow. Yellow doesn't have any fuel. Now, at any point, they could spend 3 credits to the bank, which is expensive, to get the fuel they would need to go and build a base, but they don't have this shielding technology, the radiation shields. If they had researched here on Callisto, they could do that, but they didn't. But still, purple doesn't have a base. They feel like they're going to lose that out. But they still feel like they've got a pretty good turn. They're going to play the factories. Oh, sorry, not that. The build. They want to build. So they will go from 11 to 14 fame. Then clockwise, counterclockwise, and clockwise they get to build. Of course, they go first. So they will, right here, they already have a base. Even though they don't have, not in control of the bases here, they do have a base here and they have a mission here. They connect the lines. They can go right over here. This costs 1, this costs 2, this costs the money printed on the screen 2. They already have um, a crew here that does not need to fly. They are already at that location. So that only costs 2 coins. And now they have a factory. Boom. Now I would go to yellow. Well, yellow, they do have the research where they piggybacked on us. So yeah, they are going to beat us to the punch. Because they know if they don't do it, we will. Since they're already there. Oh, we really wanted that. But I guess we can go ahead and set up a civilization. No one can beat us to that. So we're already here. Technically, that wouldn't cost money or gas, fuel, I'm sorry. But this is a colony. This is originating from Earth. We are bringing in settlers and resources and all of that. We have the technology required. Okay. And we are going to help them build the settlement, but they have to launch from Earth. So it's going to cost at least 1 fuel with our reduction. It's only going to cost 1, and then we pay the 2. But now we've set up a colony. There we go. Here, everyone can be a part. Everyone can have a small base set up, but there can only be 1 major factory and only 1 major colony. So this is built out unless yellow decides they want to put a base there to help reduce flight costs. So now it would come back to purple. Well, they really wanted to get out here. They may go ahead and establish a base for ease of future exploration, but not this turn. They're going to spend 1 fuel and 1 money, and they are going to fly out here to the atmosphere of Venus and establish a base. Since they have the high efficiency insulation, now it would go back to us. So let's see, what do we want to do? We don't have research there, and technologies, you can at any time in the game pay someone to piggyback on their technology, but the research missions you cannot. You must play a research card to do that. So unfortunately, we can't go do that if we want it. We've built here, we built here, we built here, we can't build there. We have nowhere we can build. If we decide we want this one to build here on the moon, then we'll just keep him there. And this one is probably going to explore out. So we don't really have anything we're going to do. We're just going to pass. And then it would go to yellow. And yellow doesn't really want to spend fuel just to move this guy out here. So they're going to do the same thing. They're just going to pass. There's nothing else they can do unless they wanted to fly here and build a base to reduce future fuel costs. Let's see, do they want to do that? Do they want to pay 3 plus the coin to reduce fuel cost by 1? No, they're going to hold on to that money because I believe the base only counts from where you originate and to where you go. So they're just going to stay right there. So it's back to purple. They get another build phase if they want. So let's spend the 1 fuel and oh, they don't have the Cloud City technology, the floating city. So they'll have to wait on that. Do they want to? Sure, why not? They could go there. No. And before I forget, they were the first to build a base here, so they will receive a victory point. Purple player. Now on to the yellow player. They still screen there in the corner. They will get 2 coins for that. Then they are going to play a technology. So they get to develop a technology. They really need the radiation shields, but they don't see anyone else really wanting to go for it because there's not a lot of places that need it, as well as the high thrust propulsion, which they will be using if they go to the atmosphere of Jupiter later. But everyone's going to eventually need this fusion power. To get out further, it is a requirement. Also, the gravitron generators, it's a requirement. It's a prerequisite. So they're going to get that technology. And then, of course, while we have the money, before we spend it, us and the purple player will pay those coins, not to the bank, but to the yellow player to piggyback on that. That'll give us even more speed, reducing the cost of fuel even further. But there we go. And now everyone, all players, will receive 1 fame point for each technology. So us and the yellow player will each receive 2. So that'll move us from 14 to 16. Yellow player will draw a card, and it will be our turn again. Got a couple of fuel cards here. We're definitely going to play one of those. It only gets us 1 fame, up to 17, but that's okay. Now we will receive 1 victory point. So that catches us up a little bit. Now, starting with the left, be purple. Let's go purple. They can buy fuel from us. Now they already have 3 fuel, not a lot of money. So I doubt they're going to, and sure enough they weren't. But we saw that yellow had no fuel, a bunch of money. We were hoping, and sure enough, they're going to buy 1, 2, and they need some money, but they need fuel. So do they want 2 or 3? Which are they going to be able to? They need. But we also got a victory point and a fame. Now we can spend, and we're going to spend, let's see, 2. Let's just spend 2 coins to the bank for 2 fuel. And we will draw a card. And if you notice, another fuel broker. That one has an event. Now, there are no more Generation 1 cards. So that means as soon as that happens, at the end of the current turn, which is now, we will have a scoring phase. So I'm going to try to get this to where we can see what's going on and do the score. End of my turn, I was ahead on the fame track. So we're in first and we're in second. One thing the book does not exactly explain is if there's a tie for first, you split the points, and then um, it says someone in second place would get this much, and if there's a tie, you get this much. Well, if there's a tie for first, do you not do second place? They don't exactly explain that well. But right now we don't have to worry about that. So I'm in the lead. I'll get the first place. Yellow will get second. So let's slide over here. We have no factories or colonies. So everyone at this point will score 1 victory point for each factory, 2 for each colony. I have a colony, so I will score 2 for that. Then purple has a factory, yellow has a factory. Each one of them will score 1 victory point. Next, I have the most current fame points, so I will score 2 more. And then second place will score 1. So yellow will get 1. So right now, the scores are 6, 4, and 3. But each generation also has a card that you can play that triggers the scoring round. And then at the end of the 4th phase, when the 4th card is drawn, of the 4th age, the game will end. We'll do one more final scoring with more points. So now, each player can spend money if they like, starting with me. So 1 coin would be 1 victory point. 3 would be 2, and I'd have to spend 6 to get 3. Well, I definitely don't have that much money, but I think I'm going to go ahead. Why not? I'm going to go ahead and spend 3, and I'm going to get 2 more. And then I think both purple and yellow will simply spend 1 credit for 1. So now we're looking at 8 to 5 to 4. And you may only do this once. You only get the 1 chance. So we're done with that. That'll end the scoring round, and it'll be purple's turn, and we'll be starting generation 2. The purple player would have liked to have spent more coins to get points, but they didn't have it because they knew on their turn they were going to attract investors. So let's start with the 3. 1, 2, 3. That catches them right up. Now they will get 5 credits, bringing them to 6, and all other players will receive 2. And now we can reduce fame to get more money if we want. Now you saw at the end of the age, you do get victory points. Well, purple was so far behind at that point anyway, and they were really wanting the money. So I think they're going to go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4 just to get 2 more money. And hopefully they will not have any money issues the rest of the game. Now let's see, yellow. Does yellow want to? They're going to decide not to. They're setting with 5 money and 2 fuel. So they've just decided to hold off. And I think I'm going to try, if I can, when I'm zoomed out a little bit on the board like this, I'm going to, as long as I have the extra tokens, show And of course the yellow is going to kind of blend in with the coins, but there we go. So purple played a card. Now they get a generation 2 card. It's the same cards, same functions, but you're going to have more events happening, and this is generation 2. And now it's over to the yellow player. The yellow player is pretty excited because with their last draw, they got another technology card, and they're wanting to go technology this game and see if that will help them out. So they were going to play this right here, and they're going to take control of the gravitron generators because of the places on the board. Most of them are going to need the first level fusion power and the gravitron generators to reach. Some of the other technologies, not as many people are going to want them, so they're not going to focus on those yet. They're going to focus on the ones that everyone's going to want to piggyback onto so they can make money. And they just made money off of both players. Now they will receive 3 fame and we receive 2. So that will bring us to 19 and the yellow player to 19. They draw a card and that is their turn. Now it's back to us. Let's see what we want to do. We are wanting to get out and explore. And I hate to, everyone seems to have money, and we are going to play another attract investors. Oops, let's get that card out of the way. So now we get 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 5, and everyone else gets 2. I hate to give them, oops, low, and we knew the things were going to start happening, and we wanted to make sure we had the money. We are not going to spend fame, though. We don't want to do that. We want to see what everyone else is going to do, what they plan on doing, so that we can be a part of it. Now, what the purple player really wanted to do, and they haven't been able to, is build, but the yellow player had put a card right here. So they're going to play this card. So this will slide down, but they do not get the 3 points. And I forgot to give myself the 3 points for my attract investors. So let me backtrack just a moment. If you flip this over, it goes to 20. So now that's 1, 2, 3. And now the purple player will not get this because they took this from the marketplace. But they still get to perform the build, just like normal. So starting with the purple player, they know no one can beat them out here. And they probably should have gone ahead last time just to get out here and build. But now they also have this technology. They, nope, not that. Yeah, they did not, that's right, yellow did not research that. But they do have this. And they are thinking they're going to go ahead and do that. That is something they wanted to go ahead and do probably last time. It's going to cost 1 fuel because of their reduction and 1 money. 1 fuel, 1 money. Bases always cost 1 money. And in case you need a little help, bases cost a money plus a crew. Factories 2 money and a crew. And then the colonies and the satellites all originate from Earth. So you need the fuel cost, the money, and then, so it's all right there. And then they will build right here. Now, if you notice, they have a base here, a base on Mars, and a base on Venus that they had built earlier, if I can get it onto the view. So now they have 3 bases. They are no longer tied with yellow. They have the most, the single most. So now they get the 3 victory points from the yellow player. If they had done it last turn they could have, but yellow didn't have any build cards. They didn't have any fuel or money at the time. They didn't have the research. So purple was safe to hold off to steal that card from them. Now we go to yellow. Do they want to build? Well, yeah, they would like to build, but they still don't have the research. And they're on Earth right now with nothing to build there. So I think they are just going to spend a fuel to fly here with their reduced cost to land there at their base and just prepare for later. So it comes to us. Now, do we want to build? Yeah, we want to build if we're able. But if you notice, we're full up here, full up here, full up here. We have nowhere, and we didn't research. We did not do research missions. So, and we do not have that technology. So we can't build anywhere either. We may start building here since nobody's competing, and we may just leave him there to build at the mineral beds. But we don't have anywhere to fly or build, so we will pass. I'm going to go ahead and pass with the yellow player because they have nowhere else to go. So this was a great build turn for the purple player because only one person was going to get to benefit anywhere from it. And that would be yellow if they decided to do that. So back to purple player. So that is done with their turn. And since they used the build from there, they have 5 cards. They did not sell a card this turn. We're just going to jump over to the yellow player. And what is the yellow player going to do? Sell that build card for 2 money. Then what are they going to play? They could make their factories produce. So let's go ahead and play that. The active player receives 2 credits. Well, they are rolling in the money now. Simultaneously, if I can get it to focus, each player will receive 1 credit for each factory, and additional credits or fuel may be received for factories with mineral or fusion fuel icons. This little player aid is awesome. So they have a factory here. This is a prerequisite, but that is a mineral deposit. So you see mineral deposit. So we're going to look here. Do they have fusion power? Well, let's see. Right over here, they have enhanced fission, and right here, they have fusion power. Yes, yellow has fusion power. So no fusion power, or with fusion power, or with fusion power, research level 2. Nope, they have 1. So they will get 2 more credits from that factory. Now, the reason they're not getting fuel is because they have so much fuel research that the fuel is not as worth much as it used to be. It's easier to fly around. That this money can be used for other things such as building more factories and colonies where the fuel is not as necessary. It's now of course they will end up needing to get some, but there you go. That's how that works. But if you notice, there's a factory here for purple. It has no symbol on it, no anything. Okay. So if we look at the card here, 1 credit for each factory. So they will get a credit. And we don't have a factory. We have colonies. All we have built is a colony. And that's it. So this card is done. And yellow will draw a card, and it's back to us. Let's look at our card and see what we're going to do. When you are launching, you can use 1 base, every location, every planet that you pass, to reduce the fuel cost. Think of it as you using your gravity slingshot on it. So we can reduce the cost. So I have 4, 8 here. And as I was doing this, I noticed purple's on the bottom. I already had 1, 2, 3 bases. So technically, we have those points. And I know some of you are probably yelling at me. I probably missed this earlier. So I will take this. They are tied with me. They don't have it currently. We're going to do a research mission. The active player may establish research missions for 1 credit each, plus the fuel cost from Earth. And in case you're wondering, you can just flip this back over and it tells you right here. Okay? Research mission. Cost, you're sending a satellite, costs the money plus the fuel from Earth. But you do get to use all of your reductions, all of your technologies, all of your bases. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 reduced cost from 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So like I said, that would be technically 0, but you can never go less than 1. So for 1 credit and 1 fuel, let's do right here in the atmosphere of Uranus. Then once again for 1 fuel and 1 money. Since we know, okay, that gets us to here, then we know that this being 1 less will also get us there. So why not, let's go up here. We drew that Titan card earlier. Surely Titan won't come up again. So let's just go to Titan there on Saturn for 1 and 1. That looks like a cool place to be. Then for 1 fuel and 1, we will go over here to Callisto. Since we have the technologies for that, that'll get us another little stepping stone. Maybe somebody will want to do that. And we will go ahead and use our last fuel. I'm hoping this was not a bad idea, but we'll see. But this time I'm just going to go back here on the lunar polar regions. No one's probably going to piggyback on that, but then that means I'll have no competition for that colony or factory. Even if you had not done it in a future round, now that a card is played, you could jump onto someone else's research if you want it. Perhaps you didn't have any money last time it was played. So purple will pay 1, 2, 3. We were right. They went to Venus. That way, they're not worried about the moon. They're not going to worry about the moon at all. But they will pay 3. And they want to get onto Callisto, the atmosphere of Uranus, and Titan. And yellow will do the same thing. And I put those in the bank. I shouldn't have done that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And they are going to do the same thing. And oh, we were right. So it's a good thing we didn't spend 2 there. We just spent 1. We'll do that on a future turn, perhaps. But they want to get in on these researches. These other players have not been drawing research cards. Purple hasn't been drawing research or technology. And yellow hasn't been drawing technology or build. So they were ready to jump on that. And now we will receive 1, 2, 3, 4 fame points. 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw a card, and ooh, look, we got a scoring card. Since I just drew this, let me zoom in and show you. You don't get any fame for playing it, but you go through a scoring phase just like you normally would. 1 for factory, 2 per colony, player with the most fame 2, 1 if it's a tie, etc., and then you may pay credits up to 10, a max of 10 to get 4. This is not the end of age scoring, so you could have anywhere from 4 scoring sessions to 8 every game. Purple's a little upset. They still cannot draw a technology card because they need floating cities. Those guys are just stuck out there, and they really don't want to move this guy around too much. They don't have another build card. They could steal that one. But I think what they're going to do is sell this fuel broker. So those will slide down, and now this age 1 card is out of the game. That gets them 2 credits. And then they will just go ahead and play their other fuel broker. But this one also has an event. So we have to immediately pause, pick a location card. Each construction team at the location is moved back to Earth's atmosphere unless his owner pays a credit. Well, 1 credit at this point is nothing. So we draw the top location, and we are on Neptune, the high atmosphere. Neptune's atmospheric content contains a large amount of methane. It takes Neptune just under 165 years to orbit the sun. Wow, that's really cool that they put some interesting facts on those, but no one is out at Neptune yet. So once again, an event that didn't trigger. This will go discarded, this will get shuffled back in. Receive 1 fame, receive 1 victory point, and now people can start buying fuel. Well, yeah, yellow's going to jump on that. 1, 2, 1, 2, because they seem to never draw any fuel cards. So they're going to buy 3. So that means purple player gets 3 and the bank gets 3, and the yellow player will receive 3 fuel. So back to us. Well, looking at our hand, we have fuel broker cards. We hate to waste a turn doing it, but we don't want to give him a bunch of money. $1 is better than 2, plus we get a victory point for playing it, so we're going to pass, but he will spend 3, 4 to buy 4 fuel. So this goes. They get to draw another card, and they sold a card, so they will draw another one. Whoops. And it's over to the yellow player's turn. They are going with the technology game, so they're going to play a technology card since they have it. So they get to take control, and this time they are going to get those shields. They need the radiation shields. Now each player will pay 1 to have the research for that technology, but they control it. And then if you notice, it says simultaneously all players will receive 1 fame point for each technology they control. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 23, and we have 2, so we're at 28. So they're going for the technology game, and they will draw a card. It is back to us. We're going to play the fuel broker with the event. So I did not shuffle Neptune in a moment ago, so let's go ahead and shuffle that. And we are going to draw an event, and I'm going to try and get this to focus for you guys again. Pick a location. Players lose 1 fame for each construction team they have at that location, and you cannot prevent that from happening. So let's see, where are we at? We're at Earth. At the poles, the temperature is moderate, allowing for the construction of large operations with existing technology. Water improvement for so many aspects of human habitation is concentrated at the poles. So the lunar polar regions, right there. Pick a location card. Players lose 1 fame for each construction team. We have no construction teams at the lunar polar locations. Woo! So we don't lose a fame. We got a little lucky there, and I will show you. See, for instance, here's the atmosphere and the planet, and there's one for the mineral mines, mineral beds. So it was for that specific location, but we didn't have anyone there. So we are safe. Now we get 1 fame, we get 1 victory point, and people can buy fuel from us if they would like. Well, we know that purple just bought a bunch and yellow just bought a bunch, so they're not going to do it, and we were kind of afraid of that, but still, 4, 5. We're going to buy 5 fuel. Oops. Because I think we'll come across some more money. We draw a card, and it's back to purple. Oops, and I forgot to refocus. And with our last draw, purple finally got a technology card. Now, they hate to get into the game this late, but they really don't think anyone else is going to play a technology card to get the floating city, since this is the only current place anyone can benefit other than them. They need it. So they're going to go ahead and play that, and they will take the floating city. Now, only one person can build a factory here. Yellow is not interested in that. So they're going to actually pass on that technology for now, but we won't. We will go ahead and do it right now and hop in on that technology. Now, if yellow decides later, they can at any time jump in on that technology and then continue with their turn. But there we go. Now they will receive 1 fame point. We receive 2, and that darn yellow player, 1, 2, 3, 4, are really starting to get famous for all the technology that they have developed. Purple will draw, and wouldn't you know it, look at that. They're trying to get the most out of the technology game that they can. They want to get the high thrust propulsion. It will give them one more speed, and of course, we will jump in on that, both players. And I will put them in player order up under there. Purple receives 1 fame. We receive 2, and yellow will receive 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They almost caught up with us. They get to draw another card. And yellow was supposed to also have gotten 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for playing the technology card. I hope I did not miss it the previous turn. I'll have to check on that, and I'll have to check on purple also to see if they did. But I'm going to play this 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will go ahead and snag up the Fusion Power 2. And they will both go ahead and pay to hop in on that technology. Once again, we get 1, 2, 3. So now we're at 30. Or I'm sorry, 40. See, purple will go up 1. And yellow's going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have actually jumped in the lead now with that. Need to draw a card, and we'll go to purple's turn. They want to play the research mission. And I did forget to give them the 4 fame for playing the technology card, so I went ahead and did that just at 1, 2. So for 3 fuel and a coin, let's go to Triton. And then for 1 fuel and a coin, technically it's free, but you must always spend at least 1 fuel. They go to the dwarf planet there in the Kuiper Belt. Does yellow player want to get in on any of these? Well, for 2 coins, why not? And we only have 2 coins, unfortunately. And I meant to pay. Why do I keep doing that? So I'll pay. That's from the yellow player. But I can't really miss out on getting that far out on those missions. So do that. And the purple player will draw a card. Oops, before they draw a card, now they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fame for their missions, bringing them to 30. Let's take a look at the yellow player. So the yellow player is going to hurt us pretty good because they're going to play a build card. That is 3. Oop. For 1 fuel, fly there, and then for 1 coin, build a base there, just to beat anyone else from getting there. So they're in control of it. So they now have 1, 2, 3 bases. They're tied with us. So let's see. That goes to us. And unfortunately, we bought too much fuel. We have no money. And they knew this. So we will have to pass. But it's over to the purple. Now, we know, counting from Earth, this cost them 3. But let's see from here. This would be 3, 7, 11, 15. They get a reduction of 15. So for 1 cost and 1 money, they have reached Neptune. They are the first to reach Neptune and build a base. When you first build a base, yellow will get a victory point, purple will get a victory point. Now it's back to yellow. Do they want to build again? Yeah, I think they do. Let's see. They're going to speak. This is 3, 7, 11, they can easily pay just the one fuel and the one money to build a base here that will get them another victory point. And they now have 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. They have the most bases on the most planets or distinct systems. So, boom. I think they're not going to use any fuel. They're going to spend 2 coins and build a factory right here. They've been keeping them there all this time to do that. So now we're back to the yellow player because I've already passed. Does the yellow player want to build anywhere else? I think they do if they can. So for 3, 6, so for 1, they're going to go up here. It's going to cost them 1 coin and at least 1 fuel, always 1 fuel, to build another base and another victory point, and that should secure them these 3 victory points at the end of the game. They will. Now let's see. Purple gets 1 more chance to build if they want, and they will. So for 1 coin, 1 gas to go from Earth, since they already have a construction crew there, the construction crew does not have to pay gas to move. And they will build a colony. And that is done with the building phase, and it'll be our turn. But we have to do this now. So we are going to get 5 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone else gets 2. Okay. We get 2 fame. Now we can lose fame to get more coins if we want. Well, we're looking okay now. And purple, there is no way they can see catching up. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more coins. They feel like they're so far in 3rd place and no victory points for their fame. They might as well get the coins so they'll have enough coins to do the things they want. But yellow wants to stay ahead of us, so they're not going to spend any. And unfortunately, that was all we could do this turn. We just drew the last card of the age again. Yellow is in the lead. They will get 2 victory points, and we will get 1. Then let's see, we have 1, 2. So right now purple only has two factories, and then colony they have 1. So that's 2. We have 1, so that's 2 victory points. And yellow has a factory, so that is 1 victory point. And that's it. So after the second age of space exploration, 12 to 11 to 10. But we still have those victory cards that somebody could play to try and get more points if they want it. So we'll go ahead and do the event first. I'm going to draw an event, see if it'll focus. Players receive 1 credit for each technology they control. Whoa! Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no, so purple's gonna get 1. He's probably regretting he did that now. We get 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits to yellow. So yellow is sitting pretty with the money now. So that was unfortunate. 2 fame. And now all players will receive 1 credit for each factory, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this so I can do this. They own all technologies, so we don't have to worry about do they have the technology. But we look at this. This is a fission power plant. They have all the technologies, so they get 2 fuel production and a credit from that factory. Then we go to this factory. It is just a plain factory with nothing. So they get a credit. That is all of their factories. We have no factories, and then yellow has a mineral factory. And so they will get 2 credit. Purple player's turn, they will draw a card. Build. That'll go up 2 more, up to 46. If they need to, they can spend 3 to the bank to get a fuel. But they want to build a factory here. They don't need any fuel. They're already there. All they have to do is spend the 2 coins to build a factory, and it is going to generate them fuel. So that's what they wanted to do, and they wanted to go ahead and just get that out of the way. They're not really competing with anyone, but oh, and I forgot to stand this one up. But now it comes to us, and finally we can do some building if we want. Where do we want to get? I think we want to spend 1 fuel to fly here, okay? And for 1 coin, we can, if I get some tokens out, build us a base. So now we will get 1 victory point. Now, purple's turn. They're going to look at doing this right here since nobody else is going to beat them to it. Maybe we should have gone there, but it's going to be 4, 6, 9, 13 minus, they have minus what, 12? So that even without the basis, so they're already down to 1. So for 1 gas, they will fly there. They will spend 1 to put a base right there and get a victory point for building a base there. 3 money and at least 1 fuel for the citizens of Earth, their pioneers, to come and, but they don't have to pay a fuel for that because it is already there. So 3 money printed on the board, the 1 fuel to fly the colonists from Earth, and they can build a colony right there. Now, after they've gone, it actually goes reverse order, so purple. Well, why not go ahead and, oops, forgot to lay that down. Let's fly right over here with the other one for 1 to fly the crew there, and then for 2 to build a factory so that they have even more gas factories. Now, nobody was going to beat them, but they're just going to go ahead and knock that out. So now it comes to us. Do we want to build? Well, sure. Moving any between locations is always at least a minimum of 1 gas, but we don't have to pay any extra or anything. So there, we'll establish a base and pop up there. So then it would go back to yellow. He hasn't built yet. So yellow, what are you going to do? You have money, but you have no gas. So you are going to simply spend 2 to build a factory right there. And like I said, if you forget, it's all right here on this nice little card here. To build a factory, it's just 2 coins plus having a work crew there. Since the work crew's already there, they don't have to spend fuel to fly there. But if the construction crew wasn't there, you would have to fly them there. But there you go. So that was their last construction. Now it goes back in clockwise order. It goes to us. So take off from here and fly here. It's going to take 1 fuel. Then it's going to take another fuel to fly the citizens and 3 coin to colonize here. Now we'll go to the purple player on them. They don't have any fuel, but they have plenty of money to build another factory right there. And that is the build phase for the yellow player. They draw a card, and it'll be right back to us. We don't have a lot of money, but we're going to go ahead and play it. So we're going to go ahead and play this. We get 1 and 1. Then people can buy gas from us. Well, he's going to, let's see, the purple player. They're going to go ahead and, yep, they're going to buy 2 fuel from us. So 2 money to us, 2 to the bank. 2 fuel. Yellow player doesn't have enough, so we knew they weren't. But now that with that extra money, we can go ahead and buy 3 fuel. We might be hurting ourselves again, but we will see. And we get to draw a card. What do we get? Another factories produced, which we don't have factories, so we're hurting. They're going to sell it. They're going to sell it. Oops. Then they're going to go ahead and play a build. They're already right there. All they need is 1 fuel for the colony ship and 1 money. They'll just build a colony right there because that's victory points. So now we go to yellow player. They only have 1 coin, so they can't build a factory. They could build a base somewhere, but they have nowhere that they can build a base unless they go to Neptune. Do they want to? Why not? Ooh, they can't. They don't have the fuel to get to Neptune and nowhere else. They can't fly anywhere. They can't build. They do have these 3 coins. I'm sorry, I put them up there. They do have these 3 coins that they could buy a fuel if they wanted, which means they might should have bought a fuel from me earlier. So I'm going to do that retroactively because I forgot I left their money up there. So they're going to give me 1 to the bank. Sorry about that. So now they do have a fuel. So now they can pay 1 fuel to fly here and then pay the 1 credit to put a base there. So it helps keep them in the lead victory points. And I just noticed someone's probably yelling at the camera right now. They have the mission control here, and they have a base, and they have buildings there. The player with a factory or colony furthest from Earth, where the player also controls the research mission. For 1 fuel and 2 money, a colony right there. We are struggling some with money and gas throughout the game, but the colonies are where we're going to get our victory points. They do have research, so they're going to, for 1 coin, also build a base just so that they can land. Oops. I'll have to see where that was because I knocked it around. That way they can land their construction crew there. And they have no more fuel to do anything, so they're going to go ahead and pass the rest of their turns. You can, at any point, buy fuel for 3 credits, but I do not see anywhere where you can sell fuel for credits, even at a reduced price. Let's go here. There's more things there that we can get involved in. So for 1 fuel, 1 cash, we will do the same as purple. Establish a base here so that we can land our crew, and that will mean that we will also pass, and we go back to yellow, who we know doesn't have the fuel or the credits, though they're just going to pass. So everyone's done with the build phase. Purple's turn is over. Draw a card. Now we're taking a look at yellow's hand. They have 2 attract investors. The age 1 gets them 3 fame, while the age 2 only gets them 2. They don't need both of them, and they've got a lot of factory produced cards, but their factories are really going to help them out. So what they're going to do is they're going to sell this one to get 2 credits, and that'll knock out that card, get them 2 credits. But what they're going to do is kind of funny. They feel like they're in a pretty good position, but they're going to go ahead and play this age 1 card because that will get them 3. 1, 2, 3. And then they can get a bunch more money. Now, yes, they're going to give everybody a little bit of money, but they feel like it's going to be worth the payoff in the long run. So 5, 2, 2. So that is their turn. But they sold a card and played a card, so they draw 2 cards. Now it's going to be back to our turn. We will take a loss in the fame, but that's not a big deal. But we're going to play this card, but it's an event. So let's see what happens when we draw the event card. It says pick a location card. The owner of a factory at that location gains 1 fuel. Well, we don't have any factories. So let's hope no one. It is Europa on Jupiter. Thought to be covered in water and surrounded with oxygen, Europa may be a possible location for colonization. So Europa in Jupiter, around Jupiter. So let's see. We go over here. Europa. No one has built the factory yet. So let me slide the camera over. Yellow built a colony here, but not a factory. So they just missed out on getting a free fuel. So we got lucky there. Then, people can buy gas from us. He will buy 1. Never know. Don't want to miss out on something just because you have no fuel. So they're going to buy 2 fuel from us. And they hope that with their other cards, they'll be set. So that worked out pretty good for us. Now we can spend 2 money and get 2 fuel. So now we feel like we're sitting pretty good. We got to draw a card. And it'll be purple's turn. Now you'll see why the purple decided to buy gas from us. They're going to go ahead and play another build, which is strange because why are they building again? We just built. But they will get the 2 fame, and then they will build. They're going to start right here. They need 1 fuel for that colony ship to fly here, plus the 1 coin to let them put a colony down right there before anyone can snake it out from under them. Pretty sneaky. So yellow. Will yellow build? Well, sure. They're going to go ahead because that's going to help them out with their plans. And they will build a factory right there. No fuel needed. They already have construction crew there. Over to us. Well, it wasn't exactly what we wanted, but we would have loved to have gotten in there. And now we're going to be short 1 fuel to do everything we want to do. But let's go ahead and use this one so the next time it comes up we can maybe get them going somewhere else. But anyway, 2 fuel. Finally have a factory on the board. Oh, back to purple. Will purple move or build anywhere? I don't see. They don't have fuel. They have nowhere else they can build. They're going to pass. They'll fly this one over here for 1 fuel. And then for 1 coin, put a base in right there under us. Under us, not on. So they are trying to sneak in there and get that from us. They're going to pass on their last turn. We don't have the money. We have the fuel, but we don't have the money. And I think we want to leave it. So everybody else is just going to pass, and I'm just going to go ahead and stand them all back up. Let's go ahead and do a factories produce card. So the active player will receive 2 credits, and then all of the factories will produce. So we'll get to that in a moment because first we have an event. Let's see what happens in the event. Pick a location card. Each base at that location is removed unless the owner pays 1 credit. If so, the player earns 1 fame. Oh. Pick a location card in each base. All right, well, we do have lots of bases on the board now. So we are looking at Saturn, the high atmosphere of Saturn. A gas giant similar to Jupiter, Saturn may be a better place for human development, having a lower gravity and no radiation cloud, despite it being twice as far from the sun. Wow, twice as far. Pretty neat. All right, so we're looking at the high atmosphere of Saturn, and nope, we've got Titan on Saturn. That's it. There's no base. No one is going to gain any fame because everyone had 1 coin. And so far, it has been an eventless game, if you will. Okay, I know that was in bad taste, but there we go. one fame point. Then the factories will produce. Let's start with the yellow player. Right there, we get our player aid, flip it over. They have this with all technologies. Well, they don't have the floating city, but they're not worried about that. So 1 coin, 2 fuel. And they are probably going to be in a good position for the rest of the game. Here's another factory. It has nothing. So when it has nothing, it is just 1 coin. Then we go here. It has a mineral deposit. So 2 coins. And let's see. No more. Yep, right there. That one right there. So another coin. So there we go. They're looking pretty good right now. Let's go to the purple player. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 factories. Wow. So once again, two fuel there, nothing there. So that's 2 fuel and a coin and a coin. So 1, 2, 1, 2. This one here, just a coin. This one here, a coin, and 2 fuel. Now we know why they flew backwards to Venus. They were not challenged at all to get that. And that's all of their factories. So now we look at us and we finally have a factory. It's just going to get us a coin, but that is better than nothing. And that is it for the factory produce card. Yellow player will draw a card. Back to us. We're going to have to build because we don't want that player sneaking in there and stealing our factory, even though it's just a regular little money producing factory. So purple player, does he want to build? Can he build? They're just going to save their money and fuel. So they're going to pass. So it comes back to us. We're going to spend a fuel to fly this guy up there and just land in the base. And we'll just end the turn there, the build phase. Not very much going on. So what they're going to do is they're going to research. They want to get in on some research, let other people piggyback off of them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just going to do those 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 4 money and 4 fuel, and they are running out of tokens. So I'm going to have to find some other tokens for them now. I really am. Grab some tokens from Power Grid, and if you notice, the purples don't match exactly. But places where they had control, I just removed some of the top tokens and put a house down on it. The house will fit on top of the discs real easy. So for instance, they're in control of that base. So let's just do that. And for now, I'll just leave it like that. That's good enough. So purple just did a research. Yellow will pay 2, 3, 4. Absolutely. And I just uncovered a bunch of tokens for them, so it's no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. And unfortunately, we have no money. So if we want to jump in on that later, we will have to play this card ourselves. And then it says to gain access to any existing research. But we won't be able to do that this turn. So let's go ahead and let them reclaim these researches. And then they have 1. And that house is on its end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will jump them up. That is it for that card. They will draw up yellow. What is yellow going to do? That's a shame we ran out of the tokens and all, but I think this time they're just going to stall. They're just going to kind of be a jerk. They have these technology cards. They're going to play a technology. It's going to give them 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they may take control of an available or gain access to an already controlled technology without paying. So now they will just come right over here and do that. And the reason they're doing that is also they will receive more fame. Not just that 4 fame, but all this fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will get 3. 1, 2, 3. And purple will get 1. And they're just kind of stalling it out to kind of see what's going on. What are we going to do? We have no money at all. We're kind of hurting, but we're going to go ahead and do this. We are going to force a scoring round. Now, gain 1 victory point for factory. Let's start with us. We have 1, 2 factories, so we'll get 2 points for that. Then we have 1, 2, 3 colonies. Each colony is 2 victory points, so that's 6 more. 23. We are in second place, so I'll go ahead and give us 1 for that. And then we'll do yellow gets 2 for having the most fame. Then let's see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 factories, and they have 1 colony. You see, purple's going to get, here's a factory and a colony, so 1, 2, 3. There's a factory, that's 1. There's a colony, 1, 2. There's a factory and a colony, 1, 2, 3. There's a factory, 1. So they came out really well with that scoring. It's unfortunate for us. Oops, and I forgot I was supposed to do an event. That may change things. Let's see if the event hurt anyone. Pick a location. The player who has a colony at that location must lose either 1 credit or 1 victory point. Polar regions and Mars. Polar regions. Despite the extreme cold, a somewhat similar gravity as Earth and abundant water at the poles may make Mars as even better colonization site than the moon. So it says anyone that has a colony. So who has a colony at the Mars region? At the Mars polar region has a colony. That's us. So we must lose either a credit or a victory. We don't have any credits. So unfortunately, we got hurt that turn by playing this card. We really helped out the other players, especially purple, more than us. So that gave us an idea of kind of where we stand. And that was not good. I'll draw a card. And it's a build. I need to get some money somehow. I may have to just play that investor card that's over there. Purple's rolling in the money. They are going to play a fuel. 1 fame. They will get 1 victory point. Now they will, yellow will pass. We have to pass, but they're going to spend 3 money and get 3 fuel. Discard that. H3 card. Ooh, draw another card. Ooh, and they drew another scoring card. Purple had a good turn, and they're in a pretty good position. Let's see what is yellow going to do. Especially since we weren't able to piggyback on that research, they're going to force a build. So they're going to get 2 more. For that. Then they're going to build. Well, they're going to start off. It's going to take 1 fuel to fly there and 1 coin. They're going to put a base right there. Since they're first, they get a victory point. And they will be in control of that base. But that also pretty much guarantees that they're, well, that is the same planet, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to pass them with that. Now we go to us. We do not have any money. All we have is fuel. Can we get ourselves in a position where later we can build. We want to go up there. That's all we're wanting to focus on right now. That's going to help us tons. So we're just going to go ahead and spend a fuel. We're abandoning Jupiter. We're heading to Saturn. Purple. What is purple going to do? They are definitely going to spend one coin. Oops, I want a house. One coin to go ahead and take over that and get a victory point. We are not looking good, folks. We are not looking good. So we can't do anything else. We're not going to fly anywhere. Yellow. Is yellow going to build? Well, they're here on Europa, so they need to spend one fuel to go up to the upper atmosphere and one coin to build another base. And since they are the first to build a base, they get a victory point. Let me lay these down just in case. Purple, because it's purple's turn. What is purple going to do? I think they have to. I think they have to keep yellow from getting control of that. They're going to fly from here to there to build and get that victory point. But they're going to go ahead and move this ship here. And if they get the chance, they'll build a fort there, or a base. So they're going to do that. And that's all. I'll go ahead and stand them all up now. There we go. That is his turn. That was an age 3 card. And we have another forced scoring round. So now we are in the last age of the game. Obviously, yellow is way out in the lead here. They'll get those 2 fame points. We will get 1. So there's 3 points. Here's 3 points for us. There is 1 and 2. Then we're going to get 1 and 2. Here we'll get 1 for yellow. Then they're going to get 3 there. 1, 2, 3. Here we get 3. 1, 2, 3. Yellow, nothing there yet. Then 1 and 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. And 1 and 1. Purple jumped out in the lead with that scoring. And then people can pay for victory points, but the only person that can pay for a victory point is going to be purple. Why not take another victory point? We are really hurting, and I hate to do that, but I think I'm going to have to play this Attract Investors card. We're still going to pull an event. Pick a location. The player who has a factory at that location must lose either 1 credit or 1 victory point. Hope it is not us. We only have 1 or 2 factories on the board. We just don't have any money. Earth, the lunar, polar regions of, nope, it's the mineral beds, lunar mineral beds. So we don't have to worry about it, but let's read what it says. The richest mineral deposits on the moon are likely to be located in the myriad impact craters located across the moon. The near-month-long lunar day makes temperatures extreme in most of these locations, which means it is likely most long-term habitation would be confined to the poles. All right, so we did escape that. Now we're going to get some money. Unfortunately, getting everyone money. But we need it bad. 2 for you and 2 for you. And we did not. Maybe I should have sold a card. Let's sell a card. Why not? I'll go ahead and sell that build, and that'll get me 2 more coins. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Now I'll draw a card. Okay, purple, what are you going to do? Well, I know what you're going to do. Absolutely. Not going to let anyone snake it out from under you. They are going to build, because for 2 coins, they can build that factory, which will produce them fuel and points and money. That is ridiculous. They are in a great position. Goes to the yellow player, who only has 2 money, no fuel, so they will simply, yeah, They can't pass up the chance. It's just too good. Those factories are just too amazing if you can get there first. Boom. We are hurting, folks. We are really hurting. I don't know what we can even do. We don't even have research here yet to be able to build. We can't build anywhere, so we're just going to have to pass. Goes back to purple. Do they want to fly somewhere? Well, sure. They will. Nope, they want to leave that there so that they can jump on that next time they have money. But this guy here, let's fly him over here for a fuel. Yellow player's out. Everyone's out. Let's stand this back up. Everyone is done. And I forgot to give him his 2 fame for that. He is looking really good at the moment. Yellow will do a factories produce because they're in a pretty good position right now. But let's do the event first. See what happens. Each player receives 1 credit. Well, not bad at all. Factories produce. So let's just go down the board like this. That will be 2 fuel and a credit to purple. We simply get 1 credit, nothing special. Here, 1 credit. This factory, 2 credits. Ooh. Up here, this factory, 1 credit. This factory, 1 credit. Up here, 1 credit and 2 fuel for yellow. We've already done that one. So we come over here, we're going to have, again, 2 fuel and 1 credit. And then here, 1 credit. And then finally, we get just another credit. But we're not going to complain about the money on someone else's turn. Ooh, and I forgot to get him 2 fuel and a credit because I skipped it. Went in bad way. So yeah, he has 2 of those, so he should. Purple player, there we go. Purple player should have had that. And then the yellow player will fill their hand. Back to us. We have money now. We have fuel. I think we're just going to dump one of these factories produce cards for 2 more money so that we can do research. So yeah, that will cost 1 fuel and 1 token to head up the research into the atmosphere there of Neptune. I need to try and get that factory. Doubt I can make it, but we'll see. Then I will pay a coin to purple so that I can get in here on this research. Yeah, definitely going to spend 1 here. Remember, satellite is originating from Earth. But we'll put that there. Purple player will absolutely buy in up here. They got a person waiting there to try and snake that out from under me because they know how much I need that. I think they are actually going to do something a little bit different from the purple guy. They're actually going to come out here. They may not go back that way, but if they get the chance to, they will. Now, we can get some fame, so we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more fame. Sold a card and drew a card, or played a card, and absolutely did forget to give myself 2 fame. Not that it's a huge thing, but purple, they've been holding on to this since age 1, they are going to play it. First, we have an event. What could it be? Choose a location card. The player who has a colony at that location gains 1 credit. Nice. I would like one, please. Earth's lunar polar region. Yes, finally something good happens to us. We've already read this, and folks, I promise I was not cheating. Shuffled the deck pretty thoroughly, and then we will cut it. And I'm not a magician, so I was not able to stack that deck, but we get a coin. But now the bad news. Scoring. Well, let's start here. 1, 2, and 1 for the fame track. Now, 3 for purple, and 3 for us. 1 for purple, 2 for us. Now we'll go straight down the board like this. Hopefully I won't miss anything. So 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. Then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. Back up here, we get 1, 1, 3. That was pretty painful for us. Purple pulled out to an even further lead. That's why they knew they wanted to play that card. That was very excellent for them. Oh, and they drew the age 4 scoring card. That is not good at all for us. Very dangerous. What can yellow do? Oh, and I forgot. Scoring. Does anyone want to spend coins? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he'll definitely spend 1, and so will yellow, just to get 1 more point. But will we spend? All we have is money. We don't have fuel. We may have to spend 3 just to get a fuel. So do we want to spend to get some more victory points? Unfortunately, I don't think we can. I don't think we can afford to do that. So yellow, they really want to build. So what are they going to get rid of? They're just going to sell a technology card for 2 credits. Sliding these down. Burning this one. And play this card. They don't get the fame, but they're far enough out in the lead. They're going to build. Spend a fuel and another fuel to fly this ship here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 credits. So 5 credits and a fuel for a colony ship and 1 for the construction ship. They will set up a colony. Now let's just use a little house right there. There we go. We'll set up a colony right there. Over to us. Now we will use a... That is unfortunate. But we have to. We will spend 3 credits to buy fuel to fly here and spend 1 credit to build a base there. And then over to purple. They see our plan. They're not going to let it happen. So they already have a ship there. They will spend 1 credit to do that. We didn't get the build. We didn't have the build card. We may have messed up because now it goes back to yellow. They will simply build here for 2 credits. And let's just put a disc there. There we go. But now it goes in reverse order back to purple. So they will spend a fuel to fly from here to there. And they will spend the 2 coins to build that factory out from under us. No! We needed that factory for the fuel. Purple is such a jerk. There we go. So that kind of ruined our plans and ruined our spending the gas. We could have just stayed here, which would have been much better for us. Now, technically, we are here, so we would have to spend the gas anyway to fly there. So I guess we'll have to do that. Do we have a gas broker card? No, we do not. And there's not one out on the table. That is unfortunate. We may never get to this either. So do we want to compete with that? No. We're going to spend 3 for a gas, 1 for... We're going to fly over here, land down here on a new base that we're going to build right there. That will also get us a victory point. Now it's over to yellow again. All they have is fuel, so they're going to pass. Now it's back to us, and for 3, we don't have enough to build either one of these. There's no sense in wasting all of our gas, so everyone else is just going to pass. Ooh, purple. Let's see, you can spend a fuel. You don't have enough money for a factory or that. But they're going to go ahead and spend a fuel just to fly down to that region so that they are ready next time. All right, let's stand all these up. Let's sell that for 2 money. And then let's play a technology card just for the 4 fame. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm thinking I forgot to give them 2 for their build. Sure did. But that's all I'm doing. But now I'm going to receive more fame. It's not a very good play for me at all. But 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1. Not very good at all, really. I need a fuel card. So I sold a card, and I played a card, and I still did not get a fuel card. So it looks like I'm probably going to be pretty much done for this game. Because we know that purple is going to play another scoring card. Absolutely. Let's see what the event is. Pick a location card. A factory at that location is removed unless the owner pays 2 credits. If so, that player earns 2 fame. So a factory. Let's see. It is on Jupiter's Europa. Thought to be covered in water and surrounded with oxygen, Europa may be a possible location for colonization. So Jupiter's Europa. Europa. Down here. Okay. Let's mix that back in. And it says factory. So yellow will have to lose that factory because they do not have the 2 credits to pay. Oh no. Finally something good has happened for us. So now scoring. Yellow will get 2 fame, we get 1 fame point. Then let's do this. So we flip this over, this little token becomes a 50. So it's 1, 2, 3 for here. Then we get 3. 1, 2, 3. Purple gets 1. We get 2. Purple gets 1. Yellow gets 1. Purple gets 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow gets 1. Yellow gets 1. Purple gets 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. So yellow caught up even with us and purple pulled ahead even farther. They will draw a card because they know that at the end of yellow's turn will be the game. Can yellow do anything? They have fuel, but they have no money. They need to build. They can't get money and build in the same turn. Losing that factory cost them a victory point. It looks like purple's going to run away with this game. They can try to stall a little bit longer by playing this factories produce card. By doing that, they won't draw a card. So they are going to make factories produce, which is it's really going to help the purple player also. They are going to rack up. And here's a factory that's 1 coin. Okay, 1 coin, 1 coin, and 2 fuel. And then over here we have 2 more coins and 2 more fuel. Yeah, that was probably not a good idea on yellow's part. But there we go. They're going to get some fuel and a coin. So here we are. 2 more fuel and a coin, and I guess you can see the strategy now to win this game. 1 coin, 1 coin. So 1 coin for us, 2 for them, and 2 fuel. But they will not draw a card. That brings it to our turn. I really don't think there's anything that we can do. Yes, we have money, but we're going to play it as though we don't know that we're about to lose. So we will build. That'll get us 2 fame. Okay. And we will build for 3 coins and 1, 2, 3 more coins for another gas. So we need 3 coins for the colony and then 3 for the gas for the colony ship to fly. And we will build a colony there. That is not very good, but purple will absolutely build for 3 and a fuel right there. Yellow. Well, yellow will spend 1 fuel to come back here and 2 coins to put that factory back. Back to us. We can build a base, but what good is that going to do us? But I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Build a base right here. At least we made it out to the outer reaches of space, right? Back to yellow. We'll spend a fuel to fly here and spend a coin to put a base there. Purple. Well, they can easily spend 1 fuel to get there, 2 coins to build a factory. I think I'm just killing myself, putting myself farther behind, but what can you do? Back to yellow. This should cost 1 fuel at this point in the game, 2 coins, and they took that factory from me. And then back to us. We can't do anything. We're done. Purple. Is there anywhere they can fly to? Purple will. I don't know if it means only on planets. I'll have to read that better in the instruction book and check. So let me pause and do that real quick. I did not find anything definitive on that, but I'm going to, it's called a dwarf planet here and a dwarf planet there. I'm just going to acknowledge that each location of a dot is considered a planet building location. So this is all of Earth, this is Mars, all of this is Jupiter. So purple, seeing this, will spend a fuel to fly out here to the Kuiper Belt. Yeah. And then spend a coin to put down a base there. Now they have more bases spread around than yellow. They will steal that, and yellow can't take it back because they've used they can only tie. They can't they can't exceed. So what will yellow do with their last build action? I don't think they have anything really to do. Oh wait, they rebuilt that. So yeah, they're done anyway. They don't have anything else to do. They don't have any money, so they're done anyway. Um, that was our nasty turn. We draw the last card. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a build. Last card was drawn in the 4th age, so let's do the final scoring. Now, final scoring is just a little bit different than previously. Let's start off here with the fame. Most fame will get 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not good for us. Now we will get 2. 1, 2. Factories and colonies the same. So here's 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me slide those over. 1, 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1 there. 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 there. 1 more. 3 there. And 3 there. 1, 2, 3. Now at this time, we can spend money to buy extra victory points. Why not? He'll spend 1 to get 1. And I will spend 1 to get 1. And yellow does not have any coins. But purple will also get these other 6 victory points, bringing them to 32.50. That's 82. So 82 to 64 to 63. I'm sure I've messed up somewhere in the game here and there, but there you go. There's a full 3-player game of Destination Neptune. Okay, so what do I think of the game? All right, probably be jumping around here a little bit as I get my thoughts, but I think it's neat. I like the game. It would probably be totally different 4 players versus 2 players. And with 4 players, you might not run out of tokens. That was uh, that was unfortunate, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple. There's only um, 6 different card types, and they just keep showing up each generation. The bad thing about it is once you kind of get ahead, like purple, somebody played a scoring card and he saw that, oh, I'm getting more points than them, so let's just keep piling up. He was fortunate enough to draw them. Let's just keep piling up those points and jump ahead, and no one could catch him, catch purple player at that point. I think the game is a great introductory level exploration style game with the space theme, which a lot of people are attracted to. There are some uh, mechanics and stuff in it that are a little, they just don't work exactly right. That's even been acknowledged on the Board Game Geek. The creator of the game is working on a second run of the rule set, tweaking a few things, making a few things a little more clear. And one thing they did recommend, they said the rule book should say you must sell a card every turn except for like once in the game or once every generation, like generation 1, 2, 3, 4, because it speeds the game up. That would also probably uh, make it less likely for you to run out of tokens in a 3-player game, because you're going to have to pick and choose much more what you want to piggyback on. That would speed up the game. That would help you stay with credits also, with money. It would cycle through the deck more often, and then you're more likely to, if you can't get that one card that you need, somebody might throw it down for you. A few rule changes like that he's working on. He's working on a small expansion that would come with more tokens that would color code or color match, um, and then just clearing up a few things where the rule book isn't exactly specifically sure. For instance, does these this asteroid belt and the Kuiper belt, do they count as planets when you factor a colony furthest from Earth where you control the research mission? Well, that is easy. That's well understood. But this one here, bases on the most planets. I would assume it's each little region counts. But I also read somewhere that if you tie the person at the end of the game, you would split the points. Each of you get one, or the person that was the last to do it, or something like that. I think tying would be fine, a tie, because if you rushed out, no one could ever catch it, just like the purple knew that the yellow could not catch him because all he could do was tie. The game is not perfect, but it's a good game. It's a good introductory exploration. Um, it's at times it's almost like a little bit of a bluff of what is that player going to play the card I need on their turn if I set up myself right now. I think the event deck is neat. None of them are horrible, but it's just enough to keep people on their toes and to make it interesting. I wouldn't play without it because I think the game doesn't have quite the legs of something like Terraforming Mars. With that being said, that's one of the reasons why this is easier to get a hold of at a reasonable price. Terraforming Mars has a stack of cards. The game is all about the cards. This is easier to teach. Once you know how to play it, it's way easier to teach to new players than Mars, just because Mars has so many cards that chain off of each other, and you have small micromanagement rules. And then trying to get a new player into board gaming or in your group, Terraforming Mars is a nightmare. The cards, I mean, I guess they're about this quality, but maybe a little worse. They're real thin, and they are all black backs. They can get marked real easy. They can even get ripped easy. But the player mats, they have player boards in Terraforming Mars. I would have to enlarge it and then put like a foam core over it and make it a pegboard or something for like your um, end of turn or end of age, what you get in your production. Uh, the cost for the game is a little high compared to this because you get all those really cool looking little cubes and a huge stack of cards, but the player board is horrible. It's tremendous. I mean, it's I hate to say it, in such a good game, a modern day game like this, to have such a poor quality player board that it's almost a joke on the Board Game Geek, and companies have even made overlays for it and stuff. You shouldn't have to do that. When you get a new game, you should be able to play it out of the box and not have to worry about, oh, I messed up the board. Now I did that a couple times myself because I'm playing 3 players and I'm reaching over and I knocked some tokens over. I don't think it would be nearly as bad 4 players, but those player boards are just horrible. Um, but enough bashing a game I'm not even talking about. It's a great game. Uh, Terraforming Mars is a great game and it even has a great solo mode to it. But it is much more expensive and it's much harder, much more fiddly, I guess you would say, to try and teach a newer player. Where this is, once you understand, it's money and fuel and everything is on that little card. It's not that hard to teach a new player. It's pretty cool, and I like it. I like it. I don't think it's going to have quite the variety every game. I think if you play with the same people several times, people would start to kind of develop strategies because there's only about 6 different cards that you can play. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing it like a 4-player game a few times before I make my final decision on it. But for now, I'm keeping it. I like it. It's a great entry level for some for players, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.